Well, our first guest this week is joining me in studio, Mr. Mike Manahan. He's a spokesperson for the company called EPAZZ Incorporated. Their stock symbol's EPAZ. Mike, good to see you again.
Good to be here, Don, as always.
Well, tell us again what the company does.
Yeah, EPAZ is a niche software provider. They focus on business process software. All of their softwares, though, are cloud-based. So none of the old system where you get some disks delivered to you, you'd have to load them up on your server. Their systems are all cloud-based over the internet. Just like Facebook or something like that, when you're on Facebook, you're using their software, but you're using it through the internet. Mm-hmm. Same sort of thing. But the company focuses on niche business processes. So they have things like, as an example, a product for kennel management. So you're on vacation, you take your dog to the doggy hotel. Well, believe me, that business needs a piece of software to run their kennels, and we provide a software application that you could be used by a pet hotel to manage their kennels and the kennel guests.
Well, it's really interesting because right now one of the most watched and rapidly growing industries is the legal cannabis industry, and your company has developed a payment solution. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we got a big problem in the cannabis industry. All of these states are legalizing it, if not for medical use. Many states now legalizing it for recreational use. Right. Okay, so that means you got a store. Somebody goes into the store, they got to buy it. Well, the federal laws are not too friendly towards those types of transactions, so as a result, cannabis stores have a hard time using credit cards and running bank accounts. It's a big problem. We have designed a payment solution that, assuming it works as we intend it to work, will alleviate the fact that businesses in the cannabis industry have trouble taking payments from customers. We've got it ready to alpha test. We're actually looking for some cannabis stores right now who will try it out to see if it works. The website that basically revolves around that piece of software should be launched here very shortly. So we're really excited about this.
Now, I understand the company is actually going to develop a wholly owned subsidiary to run that part of the business.
Yeah, because it's going to be slightly different than what the focus of our other products is. This, other products is typically it's cloud-based software for specific business processes. But the payment system in and of itself, it will be a completely different kind of business than our business process systems.
Well, it's kind of interesting is you have all these dispensaries all over the country, and we've reached a tipping point in this country where there actually now are more states where it's legal either recreationally or medically than there are states where it's not legal. So at some point in time, you figure the feds are going to catch up. But right now, these poor dispensaries are basically all cash businesses, and that's not only dangerous, as you would well know, but also can probably drive the IRS crazy.
Oh yeah, nothing in the IRS likes better than cash businesses, right? Yeah, it is a huge problem, and I understand that a lot of these cannabis stores are targets for break-ins and things like that because the crooks know they're sitting around with a lot of cash on hand. So our system is designed to alleviate those problems and help facilitate customer payments as well as the storage of that cash. So it's not sitting there, in a shoebox underneath the guy's desk.
Yeah. Now, of course, in addition to everything else the company is doing with that, of course, there's been a lot of good news with the company. Revenues have been going along very strongly, haven't they? Yeah,
revenues were up this year. We've had strong revenue growth year by year, every year. We had positive operating profits. It's really good news, and it seems the demand for our products just continues to grow.
Well, I had spoken briefly with your CEO, Sean Pasley, and he had mentioned that the company is using current technology to deploy rapid solutions. What does he mean by that?
We have a toolbox, I guess is the best way of talking about it, of software applications. And we can customize the infrastructure very quickly to adapt it to the special needs of a particular business. So what happens is a company needs a business process automated, okay? Used to be you'd have to hire a programmer. The programmers, come out and they do all flow charts and things like this. They go into the back room, they spend weeks programming. Instead, what we've got is a platform that can be easily adapted to business processes. It's almost like having a toolkit or a construction kit, and you just put the blocks in a certain way, and it's up and running.
So you can take a particular package that you have for a particular business space, but you can customize it for each individual business itself.
Right. That's exactly what we can do.
Now, you know, back in the day, so to speak, when you bought a software package, you needed an upgrade, you had to get disks and all these other things. This now all happens automatically over the internet, doesn't it?
It's all done over the internet, all done online. We can be fixing the software, upgrading the software. It's completely seamless. When the new fixes are ready to go in, we just launch them. Your software automatically upgrades.
Now, how competitive is the space that you're in? I mean, really, you know, how do you stand out amongst the crowd?
We stand out for a couple of reasons. One is that we're not going after, we're not a giant killer, okay? So a lot of times companies who develop business process software, they're looking to deploy it on a mass scale, hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of customers. For companies that are where there's a relatively limited market, nobody wants to get into that because the market is small. So it presents a great opportunity for us, because when you have a niche product, as people know in the marketplace, if you have a niche product, chances are your margins are higher in the niche market, because there's typically less competition. And I'll give you just one example. We have a piece of software that manages your boardroom. Now, you know, a lot of companies have a boardroom, right? Okay, every company has, a big company has a boardroom, and how do you schedule who's going to be using that boardroom? Right. People are using spreadsheets and they're using inefficient systems. We actually have a piece of software that manages the boardroom.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Once again, the company's EPAZ Incorporated, EPAZ is their stock symbol. Mike, thanks so much. Great update.
Okay, thanks for having me.